Welcome, everybody. You're back together with us at Keeping Up with Senior Solutions. Jim and I are glad to be back together. It's been really hot out, and then it got really rainy, but you can't keep us off of BCTV or other public television stations. And today we have a special guest. Jim, how have you been?
I've been great. I've been enjoying the hot weather because one of my granddaughters, out of 5 granddaughters, is an outstanding softball player and has been in all kinds of tournaments. So we've enjoyed that.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, Tom, we'd just like to welcome you to the club here, sitting here talking about all good things having to do with senior solutions. And we're like to let people know what you do. You're not real new, but you're fairly recent to the organization, and you're doing a great job. Want to tell us just a little bit about your background and how you got to Senior Solutions?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for letting me appear with you guys today. I'm the ThreeSquares coordinator, outreach specialist for Senior Solutions, which means I'm primarily working with food and fuel assistance for seniors within our area. I came to Senior Solutions back in March, and that was after spending about a year and a little bit working with the U.S. Census. But I wasn't a census taker, which is what people normally think of. I was actually in charge of building capacity, to use a fancy phrase, prior to the actual launch of the census. And what that meant was that I was going to senior centers, selectmen's meetings, library discussions, community meals, and I was explaining to people the importance of the U.S. Census. And one of the things that I always talked about, especially with senior groups, was how many programs are tied to the census, such as Meals on Wheels, first responder programs, health programs, Medicaid programs. So I was doing that for a full year, explaining the importance of those programs. And then once my job was over, it was a contract position, I said to myself, boy, I'd really love to work for Senior Solutions now, actually implementing some of those programs. So that's what I'm doing now.
What a great idea. Oh, Jim, you already knew about Tom, right?
I knew about Tom. I enjoyed his census presentation when he gave it to Senior Solutions. I was very impressed with him. I was impressed with a versatile background that he has. It's like he can talk to anybody. That's what that's the feeling I got. Yeah. And I think that's so important, Tom, when you meet with people, that you don't just talk about yourself, you draw from them. And that's and I think it's probably because of your education background.
And prior to the census, for 25 years, I chaired the business department at Greenfield Community College.
Right.
And of course, as a community college, some of your students are duly enrolled high school students, and some of them are retirees looking to pick up some just general knowledge for the fun of it. So you end up working with a very wide range and diverse group of people when you do that.
The other thing that you brought as well is that your background with the U.S. Coast Guard, because I think you connect with vets as well. So you have a very eclectic background.
I do.
Yeah, and we're just happy to have you, truthfully. We really appreciate all the skills that you're bringing to the table and all of the passion that you're bringing to spreading the good word about all the benefits through the National Council on Aging's Benefits Enrollment Center. Right. So I guess we really should let you get started.
Right.
But I want to say one thing before we get too far into it. I want to acknowledge the wonderful job you've done putting together 3 what we call snippets, little mini videos that are going to be playing on all of the public access television stations in Windham and Windsor County. I'm not going to give away what it's all about. That's not for me. But as you describe things, the station will be inserting these videos so that people can see them and appreciate the really direct person-to-person conversation that you're having with them about these subjects. So I think if I don't want to be a spoiler. I don't want to give away the ending of all of these shows, but if you'd like to start, would you like to start with 3Squares? Tell us about what is 3Squares?
Sure. So ThreeSquares Vermont is a program that basically helps seniors, or anyone actually, put food on the table, put good, nutritious food on the table. It's income based, it's income tied, and those benefits can come to you in the form of an EBT card, which is no different than a debit card, looks just like any other credit card or debit card. Or in some cases, the money can be deposited directly into your bank account so that you just use it the way you use your checking account.
Nice.
In Windham and Windsor counties, and in our coverage area, there are 14,000 seniors, and that's 65 and over. Of those seniors, 60%, 60, who are eligible for this program do not participate.
Ooh.
There's a really strong disconnect between seniors who are eligible to get a little assistance with food or fuel or something else, and their willingness to reach out and say, yes, I'll participate in this program. So one of the things I'm really trying to do is to get people to see how important it is for them to participate, for both for the health of their family and for the health of their community, and to show them it's not as hard as it used to be. Right now, the current income guidelines is that a family of two, a couple who earn $2,659 a month are eligible. That's $32,000 a year. And I mention that because a lot of people think, well, you're not eligible for these kind of programs unless you are like really, really destitute. And that's not the case. Everyday people are eligible for many of these programs, and 3Squares is one of them.
I think that's a great point, because people that are making not a bad salary or a combined Social Security income of that amount, they don't think of themselves as poor, and they're not really in the big scheme of things. But if you're making that amount of money, it's still a struggle because cost of living is going up every year. And if you can save even $50 a month by taking advantage of this plan, then you really should. And I think that it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of. If anything, it's a shame that our government has to help people because of the financial difficulties of our economy. So,
in speaking with people, I've heard people say, well, I don't want to participate in that because someone else needs it more than I do. I don't want to take it away from them. And I mean, it's a very noble approach.
Sure.
But the 3Squares program is set up so that if you participate, you're not reducing the total pot of money available. It's just like when you draw on your Social Security. By your receiving your Social Security, you're not reducing someone else's Social Security.
Sure.
Whatever you're entitled to receive as a benefit, you get as a benefit. So you're not taking this away from anybody. And I often will turn it around and say, do you realize that when you participate in 3Squares, you are actually adding dollars to the Vermont economy? And I'll give you a figure that blows people away. Every single month, almost $10 million is added to the Vermont economy every month through the 3Squares program. That's federal dollars coming into Vermont, going into households to buy food, who then use it at their local market or their supermarket, who then pay their employees, who then, use their income to buy the things that they need. And when all is said and done, it's a lot more than $10 million added to the economy.
Sure.
So when you participate in this program, not only are you not taking money away from someone else, you are actually strengthening Vermont and your community.
Right. That's a really
Jim, I
good.
know that hits home with you when we talk about booster budget programs. You always say, boy, why would you leave the money on the table? Take advantage of it. It's there to be used. If it's almost like if we don't use it, we lose it.
That's exactly right. And when you do use it, it multiplies.
Right.
Good point. Thank you. So I guess we'll let the people watch the video, and hopefully if they have any questions about all the things we're talking about today, they'll call the Senior Solutions Helpline at 802-885-2669 and ask questions and say they'd like more information or they'd like to sign up for some of these benefits. And just remind everybody out there what you were just saying. This is not charity. This is money that the government has dedicated to help our aging citizens make their lives more comfortable and to help local economies.
Hello. Many small businesses, farms, and families are having it tough in this economy. But ThreeSquares Vermont can help you stretch your budget. When you participate, you're not taking benefits away from someone else. In fact, you're helping us all. ThreeSquares adds more than $10 million every month into the Vermont economy. Call Senior Solutions at 802-885-2669 to see if you qualify, because ThreeSquares can strengthen your household and your community.
So what else you have on your mind there?
Well, so another objection that people often have to getting involved is they get overwhelmed by long application forms,
Right.
and by the bureaucracy involved in having to apply for a program. And I totally understand that because I have very little patience myself. But I will say two things about that. First, you can call Senior Solutions and we will walk you through the process. We will even take the information over the phone and actually upload it for you so that you're not sitting there forever with a long application. But I think even more important is that if everyone in your household is 60 or older, or disabled, or some combination thereof, and no one is working at a job, meaning their income is Social Security or a pension or an annuity or an IRA, there is a new application. That's it. It's
That's
three and
it?
a half. That's it. It's 3.5 pages
Ooh.
long in large type font.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's a very short application. You can do it in just a few minutes for most people. And if you're eligible for ThreeSquares, those benefits are good for 3 years. It's not
That's
a
great.
1-year reapplication. It's a simple application and it's good for 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
And that's not all.
There's more?
There's more. So one of the other people sometimes object to getting assistance with food. It sounds like they can't provide for their family or something like that. But when you talk to someone and say, hey, what do you think about getting a couple $100 off your fuel bill? They will jump at it.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, oil bills in Vermont in the winter for 6 months, they're high. So the ThreeSquares program is twinned with the fuel assistance program. And one application can be used to apply for both programs.
It's like a twofer.
It's a 2-for-1. So even if you're just interested in the fuel assistance part of it, once again, simple 3.5 page application. You apply, And if you're found eligible, the state will calculate what you're eligible for. And the state will send a check directly to your fuel supplier. And it doesn't matter whether you heat with oil, propane, kerosene, electric, even wood.
Wow.
It's covered. That's an application you want to get in before the fall because the amounts that are available are calculated in the early fall. So, you know, we just went through a heat wave and people might not be thinking about their winter fuel needs. But now is the time to think
Yes.
about that.
You
Right?
bet.
I mean, if you're a good Vermonter, you're out there chopping wood for this winter anyway. So as long as you're thinking about it, now is the time to fill out the application.
That's right. Get in the door.
And so we've created a video that speaks to that as well.
Hello. Here in Vermont, we have to plan ahead for our food and our winter fuel needs, and our budgets can get squeezed pretty tight. But in one application, you can apply for both food and fuel assistance. To see if you qualify for 3Squares Vermont, call Senior Solutions at 802-885-2669. Keeping food on the table and heat in the house is just good old-fashioned common sense.
Jim, you have any questions you'd
Well,
like to
how
ask
do you access, Tom, how does one access the videos?
The video can be accessed on the Senior Solutions Facebook page. Many of the community TV stations have put it right on their home pages.
Right.
So there's a lot of ways to get these videos.
Yeah, depending on where you live. I know you can go to Brattleboro Community Television and go into and just type in when you go like into the library, I think, just type in Keeping Up with Senior Solutions and our videos will pop up. You also can Google them, just Google and go to our website. We have loaded your 3 snippets on our website.
Right.
So, I mean, you're going to have a hard time getting away from them. They're going to be, I think they're going to be nominated for like an Academy Award.
An Emmy, yeah. I'll have to make some new ones with some new themes as well so we could rotate through them.
Oh, they're great. They're really nice. You know why I like them? You speak very clearly. You've got a nice environment that you're presenting that's, you know, relates to the subject. And they're quick and to the point, which none of us have long attention spans anymore. And I think
that's
it's
why
very
we made them
valuable.
about 30 seconds each.
Perfect.
You know, hit home with what is important, let people see what it's about, and then call the Senior Solutions Helpline.
Exactly. Oh, I wanted to ask you a question. When you talk about signing up for 3Squares, it's good for 3 years. If people sign up through us, do we remind them when it's time to reapply?
They will absolutely get a reminder letter that it's time to renew. People who have applied and received the benefits will get that letter directly, and we will get a copy of it so that we are put on notice that one of our clients has, you know, it's time for them to renew. So then we can get a hold of them and say, has anything changed? Can we help you? Can we do anything to make this easier for you?
Did we see an improvement in the enrollment into 3Squares or fuel assistance during the pandemic period?
There was an increase in Vermonters' requests for food assistance in absolutely every food program that exists in the state. And there's many of them. There's the Meals on Wheels,
right?
And
Everybody
there were community
eats.
food deliveries. Everything saw an uptick.
Yeah.
So it's nice to our seniors should really realize that the availability for food assistance and fuel assistance is still available, and now's the time to look at it.
Right. And you know, some of these programs were also very pandemic specific, so they will be wrapping up soon. 3Squares is something you can count on going forward. It's not going to change. It's not going to go away. This is one of those programs that you know could be a staple in your house.
Hmm.
So, and the other thing is, it's summer. I spent this past weekend trying to beat back the weeds in my garden and losing the battle.
Oh,
Right. A lot of people don't realize that you can use ThreeSquare Benefits not just at your local market, not just at your local drugstore, not just at your supermarket. You can use them at farmers markets.
yes.
Brattleboro, Bellows Falls, Putney, West Townsend, Hartford, Ludlow, Woodstock, Norwich, Londonderry, every one of those farmers markets accepts ThreeSquares Vermont, as do some that are outside of our area, but some of our clients may live close enough to go to, like Bennington or Randolph or something like that. And I feel like a salesman. That's not all. At farmers markets, your benefits count twice. For every $10 in benefits that you receive from the ThreeSquares program, you get $20 of tokens at these farmers markets.
That's the crop cash
That's
program?
the crop cash program, exactly. And it's a 2-for-1 ratio this year.
And I don't think,
You're helping yourself because
Yeah.
you're putting fresh, local farm food on your table. You're helping local farmers in your community because they're getting reimbursed for that double amount that you're being given. Win-win-win situation. Once again, why leave money on the table?
exactly. And I think now not every farmer's market is equipped to participate in crop cash, but you'll know when you go to the info table. But also, you can get $10 every week.
Right.
So that if that's an extra $40 a month to get really good local fresh fruit and vegetables, but you're helping the local farmers, you're helping your family, you're having a good time. And
Right.
I mean, if I went to the store and I was getting a $10 coupon for every time I shopped, I'd be dancing down the aisles.
Sure.
Right.
And you could use that money not just for fruits and vegetables that you're going to consume right away.
Mhm.
You can use that money to buy plants to garden with. You
Right.
want to raise your own vegetables. And it's not too late to think about fall broccoli crops. So,
Very
or
nice.
lettuce or peas for that matter.
Oh, yeah.
So whether you want to consume those vegetables right away, or you'd actually like to have a garden, the money is there.
Nice. Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's a wonderful program. And I commend our farmers markets really for, taking the extra time and trouble to sign up to participate. Because they're all volunteers. And you know how volunteers, never have enough time to do anything because they're so busy helping us. So I think that's great.
I was really impressed. I went to the West Townsend Farmers Market last week,
Okay.
and at their sign-up table, their main booth, the manager's table, they had ThreeSquare signs up on every pole. They had information out. They had pamphlets out. They were really proactively saying, this is a good thing. It's a good thing for us as farmers. It's a good thing for you as a consumer. So it was really good to see.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. Yep. And I just want to throw one quick little word out to let everybody know that it's not critical, but I hear that the Thompson Senior Center, their bingo has started again. So
Wow.
go to the farmers market on the green in Woodstock, and then go to the bingo game. Well, you'll have yourself a lovely day. You'll forget all about being shut in over COVID. So I think, there's all kinds of good things happening. Okay, that's my commercial break. Now we can go back to the program.
So anyway, we did a video relating to crop cash as well. So you can show that one now if you'd like.
Hello. Growing your own fresh food is a way of life here in Vermont. Did you know that ThreeSquares Vermont benefits can be used to purchase vegetable plants at supermarkets and many farmers markets? At participating markets, you can even get $20 in buying power for every $10 in benefits. To see if you qualify, call Senior Solutions today at 802-885-2669 and keep up a great Vermont tradition.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. So, let's talk a little bit about the NCOA, the National Council on Aging, their Benefits Enrollment Center. We do concentrate on nutrition and wellness and several other of their like top 5 programs, but there are so many programs that we can help people with through that organization's website. There are so many things that are available through Older Americans Act money and through National Council on Aging benefits packages. It boggles my mind. I saw a list today that our nutrition and wellness director, Wendy, showed us about all these benefit programs. There was like 2 pages of them. Who knew?
There are
So
many. And
So,
people
yeah.
call Senior Solutions, and I tend to focus on ThreeSquares and fuel assistance because that's my domain. But people might call because they have a vet bill for their kitty cat. They may call because they need a bathroom retrofitted because they can't get in and out of
Sure,
the bath facilities.
sure.
They may call because they're having trouble with their electric bill, and there's an electric residential electricity program separate from the fuel assistance program. It's a lot of different reasons people are calling.
I think one of the reasons that you're going to see an intake of calls is that we are constantly, as seniors, because I am one, being bombarded by telephone calls from, quote, insurance companies, not the federal government, that they are saying, this is a Medicare call. And you get hooked as a senior to start listening, and it is just a fly-by-night scheme. If seniors are getting bombarded by those type of calls, call the helpline.
Good point, Jim. Very good point. That's right. Don't give out your information. It sounds phony. Guess what? It is.
It is.
And if you have any question, please call us because we know some of the scams that are out there and we can give you the bottom line real story and we'll be able to help you. Well, I can't, Buzz. I don't know as much as Tom does about these things, but
and our case managers have what we call boot camp,
right?
Which can be done in person or online to give you basically the ABCs of Medicare and Medicaid and the process and the decisions you have to make. And actually, we're hoping on taking some of those now that the pandemic is over. We're hoping on taking some of those on the road this fall during the open enrollment period.
Oh, good.
good.
Very
Yeah,
good.
we used to, in the olden days before COVID-19, they used to be in Wilmington and, all over the place, up in Windsor. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to that too. Like to get back to visiting the select boards, talking and answering questions for people.
Right.
Sometimes you don't want to get carried away telling information. You have to give people an opportunity to respond and ask. And that's hard to do on Zoom. So,
It is. It's one of the benefits of the senior centers opening up again because we can go and be present, and it doesn't even have to be a formal program. We can just be, answer questions, and if we don't know the answers, we can get them for you.
Yeah, we could just go and have lunch with people there.
That's what I did when I worked for the census, and that's when I fell in love with Senior Solutions and the whole network that they work with. So.
And the food is really good.
Yeah, and the people are so nice. I mean, it's very reassuring when you're out in public and talking with groups and meeting with communities and stuff. What you realize how many wonderfully, wonderfully kind, nice people we have here in Vermont. And I think we're very lucky.
We are.
Well, they've proven themselves during the whole pandemic. The care centers and senior groups really supported one another, delivering food,
Oh my
etc.
gosh.
They were amazing, amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The
Yes.
networks of food delivery and the way everyone just shifted to make things happen, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's a book in and of itself as to how every individual town just shifted and pivoted to make things happen, to make sure their people were taken care of.
Even the
Yes.
local town markets, like I live in Chester, the Lee's, which is now Smitty's, went out of their way to help people get their orders in. You know, you could pick it up at the dock or somebody would deliver it to your house. It was amazing, amazing.
And I would think we also, and I think you started out with it when we were talking, Tom and Jim, the fact that Vermont's aging population led the charge in getting vaccines. They were the ones who stood up and went and got their vaccines or had them delivered by, town nurses or whatever. They're the ones who helped us get a real head start on the vaccinations. And the CDC has given money to Vermont through the Department of Aging and Independent Living for all of the councils on aging. The 5 of us in the state are working together to pool the money to pay for a marketing firm who will be starting, I believe, rolling it out slowly in August. But there's going to be a big push to encourage the aging population to finalize their vaccines. Many of us have gotten 1 dose. We haven't gotten our 2nd one. So we want to encourage people, you did great, you got your 1st shot. Make sure you get that 2nd shot so you're really, really covered. We want to have you around for a long time because we have lots more things to tell you about. Well, thanks so much. Is there anything we've forgotten?
I think we've Tom has done a really nice job covering all the bases.
Oh
and,
gosh, yes.
and definitely making it understandable for people and give the support not only to the people that need it, but to also the communities. What
That's
a
right.
partnership.
Yes, yes.
And if people have any questions about anything we've spoken about today or anything else, they can always call 802-885-2669.
Love it.
That's the number, right, Joann?
Oh gosh, I know that number better than my own.
802-885-2669.
Well said,
That's the
well
number.
said. Thank you.
That's a good number.
All right, I guess we'll end it here. You've done a brilliant job. Can't thank you enough. And I think that if anybody has a question, they will call, and encourage your friends and relatives to watch the program and encourage them to call us. There's no question that we will turn away. If we don't know the answer, we'll try to find out for you, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, you know what? I will add something else because I'm
Oh,
a
good.
teacher and I can't stop talking.
That's good.
Maybe someone's watching this show right now and they're not eligible or they're not a senior, but your mom or your dad is, or grandma or grandpa is. Call on behalf of them or speak with them. We'll work with you too.
Perfect.
Good
And
point.
you know what? That ties in with, on 4th of July, I was at the Heartland Old Home Days, and I took our rubber jar opening little circles with our helpline number on it. So I said, I'm not just going to stand here and wait for people to come up. So at lunchtime, I went and I trolled the big hot dog hamburger line with a whole bunch of them in my arms. And I went up to everybody, young kids, young mothers. And you know what? There were a lot of young parents and young couples. I said, do you have a grandmother, a father, somebody who has a hard time opening jars? Want to give them this? And they're like, oh yeah.
Oh, good.
They were delighted to do it. So, you can't pigeonhole people by how do they look, how do they act, because if it doesn't go to them, they know somebody who could use it.
Right.
So the
You
same with all of this.
You got any, you have any extras?
Yeah, well, I had a box of about 300.
Well, I could use one. It might help my golf game even.
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think? Oh, that's a great use. Yeah. Take a couple of spares and give them out on the golf course. Guys, it's been so much fun as always. Really love talking with you.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay. Oh, see you later.
Bye,
Bye.
Joanne.
Bye-bye.